Hi, this is Wilfredo Hernandez, Arts and Culture Group Leader for the Brooklyn Community Pride Center, here on behalf of the LGBTQ New Americans Oral History Project. And today we're here with...
My name is Sebastian. We are here at the Brooklyn Community Pride Center, June 13, 2018.
Welcome, Sebastian.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you for having me.
us. Yeah, thank you. So can you tell us a little bit about where you grew up?
Well, I'm original from Chile. I grew up in Santiago and in Concepcion, city south Santiago. So I went to the school there. And it was really my family, it's my parents, and I have a young brother. And we grew up in a nice neighborhood, a super nice school with friends, and in this neighborhood we have like a lot of friends, so my childhood was always running and playing with friends, bicycles, and all that kind of stuff till Nintendo appeared, but always in a conservative country, you know, so it's always I have the opportunity to go to a non-Catholic school, so that gives me like a lot of freedoms, and my parents were really Catholic, but they gave me the chance to choose my religion or if I want to participate and how I want to participate. And that was really a plus in that country because Catholics rule many schools and many institutions in Chile.
Great. What was it like? What was it like growing up? What are some of your earliest memories?
My earliest memories is that one. I mean, playing with my friends that was riding bicycles during the summer, going to the mountains, to the lake, and do like young things like throwing stones in the lake or riding bikes and doing. And one of the things that is more valued today that I think my generation was one of the last that enjoyed that and not having the Nintendo or all that kind of things that child has now. So it was a really, really good childhood. And after that, well, finished high school and I moved to Santiago again. And I went to the university in Santiago, and that's the capital, so it's more like freedom or more liberal city that you can go out and have more fun. And the university was super nice. I have friends too. We make a lot of travels together and it was fun. And even if it was a Catholic university, no problem. Maybe you don't show it too much in order to not get so many discrimination or don't be discriminated. So you don't show it and you don't talk about, but it was a really nice experience, the university.
So when you say don't show it, or what are you referring to?
Because the society in Chile, it's really a conservative one, and maybe they don't try to make the point. Everyone knows probably that you are gay. I mean, after the university and when I start working and I have in my apartment or the neighborhood of the area or with the people that I was totally gay, and I don't have issues with that. When I came out of the closet and I told my family and everything was no issue, and they accepted me, no problem with that. And it's weird, the society that know that you're gay, probably everyone of the doorman knows that you're gay, but nobody says the word, and that's something really like shocking. Like people know, but they don't say it, they don't name it, you know? Yeah, he's sleeping or he's having his friend sleeping with him or his friend is coming, but you know it's your boyfriend finally and you are in a relationship with this guy and you have been like 5 years, but it's just the friend. So it's like kind of fun. And that's really sad in a society that don't accept really what you are, or with name and rights, or and that's really complicated. I left 2012 Chile, and the things have changed. It's more open now, and they're talking more about it. But anyway, it was really weird participating in a society that still really conservative, but they don't say that you are, and they don't, I mean, today is not something that you have to be recognized or you are different because of you're gay, but it was the hypocrisy of living in that society that everyone knows, but you don't say it, and that was really like kind of boring or upsetting in a way,
And when you say they don't say it, or they don't use the terms that we may use here, or to describe individuals or communities, where do you think that stems from? Is that something that stems from the religious aspect of the culture, or because you're saying?
I think in Chile, as mostly of the population is Catholic, they rule by that religion, and it's really in a point upsetting maybe, because Sundays everyone go to the church and say the little prayers and everything, but they don't practice that, and when they don't recognize you as a community, or that you are something, or you want something, or even the fact that I was able to get married there. Until today, you can get married. You just have an agreement. It's upsetting because it's you being not recognized because of what you are, and it's the hypocrisy of one society that doesn't want to touch the subject, or they don't want to recognize because the religion or the Catholics or another one trying to avoid the subject, and that's in a point really, really upsetting.
And in the larger city, like you were saying, you're in the capital, where the city or the culture is a little more liberal. Are the issues in the communities talked about there? Are the words used, or is it still kind of quiet?
When I was living in Santiago, one of the things, it was like I was independent, I have resources, and that gave me no rights, but I can defend myself and stand up and say whatever I wanted, The thing is, what happened with the guys or the gay community or all the community that don't have resources. So they live in an under society, so they can express because they don't have the right resources to do what they want, So I have my job, I have my apartment, I have my group of friends, and I have resources, and I can do whatever I want. So I don't have to look to anyone to express or do myself what I really want. Anyway, when I was having a relationship there, you go outside and you don't handle hands in the middle of the street, or it's less kissing. So that's why it's when I was saying everyone knows that you are with your friend, but nobody totally accepted it. I don't know right now. Probably you can see more people and doing that, but yeah, I mean it's still the fact that you don't get married in Chile. It's upsetting.
And what was that experience like for you personally, of either having a friend or having a partner or having people in your life but not being able to share openly?
That was maybe one of the things that made me not force me, because I have a job opportunity to develop my career in Brazil. But that's definitely was one of the points to say, you know what, maybe I don't like this society and where we are going, so I prefer to go and try in another one. And that's not was the main reason. I don't have to be so unfair with that, but yeah, I decided to go to another country and have my life there, more openly, or a society where you can talk about the subject,
In which country was that?
I moved to Sao Paulo in Brazil, 2013. And that's totally a different experience. The society in Brazil, I don't know, it's more open, more friendly. They don't care how much if you are gay or you're lesbian or you, no, they just accept you how you are. But there is a huge discrimination against the guys or the community that doesn't have enough resources, you know. And that's a thing, it's a really complicated things because they are being really discriminated. Even in schools or in the interior of the country, and happens today in Chile too, that is totally different if you live in a big city or in the capital. For example, I'm saying Santiago, or I'm saying Sao Paulo or Rio, that is like huge cities, that if you're living in the interior of Brazil or you're living in Arica or in Chile, you know, that the community or the society is really small, the inhabitants are super less, and everyone knows and everyone talking about the other one and who you're visiting or who's your friend or who's your, so that's a really like a point that in your life makes, you know what, I don't want to participate of this anymore because it's really upsetting. I mean, I don't mind or I don't care what people can say about me because everyone has his own life. I don't judge anyone, but I don't want me to be judged by anyone, and especially people that don't know me. So that was one of the reasons to move to Sao Paulo. And in Sao Paulo, life or the society is totally different, as I was saying. They are really open. They are fighting for the rights, for have more rights. You can marry there, and they are totally more open. But also there is this discrimination to the groups that they don't have enough resources. So when I was in Sao Paulo, there is the Pride there, one of the biggest one in Latin America, and you participated and people celebrated. It was more like a party, and in a nice way, you know, when people get together and accept it, and the same society realized that there is people that has to be accepted by why they are, you know, if you're gay or trans or lesbian, or if you want to build your family with a woman, if you want to form your family with a man and have children, and that's totally more accepted, and they are talking about more, and the Sao Paulo parade is really helpful, and they are more open to that. That still doesn't happen so much in Santiago. The last couple of years, more ONGs or institutions like that in Chile are trying to make it work a little bit, but there's still a lot of work to do there.
What was the organization you just mentioned?
No, I don't know how you say it, but we call it ONGs, the private foundations, or I don't have the right name. NGOs. So those NGOs, I'm working more in Chile, but there is still a lot to do. I mean, still.
Do you feel, in other interviews we've talked with people who've come from conservative cultures and countries, and STEM, they usually link it to religion, Christianity also. Yeah. But it's in Chile and in Brazil also, do you see, is there any outside influence from other countries around the world that plays a part in advancing the conversation at all, or advancing the fight for specific rights? Or
I will say that more in Brazil happened that, because it's more a cosmopolitan city in Latin America. They have a lot of immigrants, they have a lot of mixed culture. If you see Sao Paulo, it's built in a city that have a lot of people around the world. It's a business city too, so many people come to the city, and that's why they're forcing to make it talking about that. Brazil, it's very open in that matter, so they always celebrate sexuality, and if you are gay or lesbian or straight, they will celebrate the sex or the feeling that you're free. So that makes them talk more and be more open to that, you know. But unfortunately in Chile it's like at the end of the world, as we said, and so the influence came not so much, and it's more now people in Chile that they're fighting more for their rights. And I will say that's the difference from Brazil, you know. In Chile, the people that are living in Chile, they're fighting more for their rights and trying to be equal and recognized as they are. But I found really weird too that I have been traveling around the world. I have been many in Middle Eastern countries too, and I went to Southeast Asia. When you hear that you can, if you're gay, you can do anything in those countries, and I did it. Probably was not the best thing. Nothing happened to me, and I found it okay. They are more open finally with their religion that our society, for example, in Chile, you know. So it's like that contrast or that contradiction, that why is, I will say that in Chile we are more a Catholic society, but it's not only that, it's more the society finally that don't accept or don't want to talk or don't want to accept how you are, you know. It's, they are blaming maybe the religion, but it's finally the society is not really open to that.
So you were in Sao Paulo in 2013?
Yeah.
And how long did you stay in Brazil?
In Brazil, I stayed for 4 years. Yeah, beginning 2013, and I moved to New York beginning 2017. So I have been here for 1 year and a half, hanging there.
So New York, what time of year did you come to New York?
February.
Winter.
I arrived February 10, 2017, like 7 a.m. in the flight from Sao Paulo.
And did you come here for a visit, or you moved?
No, I came definitely for work. I have been a lot of times in New York already, but always visiting or for work, and that was the date I moved definitely to New York.
So the
to
difference.
Start in chapter number 3 maybe in my life, and or the new city.
Sure. The difference between visiting versus moving
is huge.
It's huge.
Yeah. It's totally.
Can you talk a little bit about your journey to that?
I mean, New York is a tourist city, and everyone wants to visit and know there and visit all the places. Living here is totally different. I think that the New Yorkers are always running. They are super independent or individuals. So if you don't have like your support group or your friends or something, it's really complicated to start. Maybe that was my main goal, to find friends and start the life here and make it work. And if you make it here in New York, you can make it anywhere. So yeah, the beginning is kind of hard and complicated, but I think it's not that the New Yorkers are cold. I think that definitely, and probably with time, you will realize that you get into the system and you don't have time to. So I think that's the main thing that I will say about New Yorkers, that they are friendly at the bottom, but it's a thing of time, you know. And it's a really amazing city. I mean, I love New York. It's not easy to live here, but every weekend you have something, every week you have something new to visit, or something new is happening. So it's a really friendly, open city to the immigrants or tourists. So I would like to stay in New York for a couple of years.
And when, like you say, having a support system or community, when you move to a city like New York, how did you build that for yourself? How did you find your community? How did you find your people, your group?
I mean, you have to be really open and have to make the contacts. When I was traveling to New York for work, I started to make some friends, and through the company that I worked for, you make connections, and from that friends, and you make a new ones or met a new guy. Also, you have the apps, and through the apps, you start to meet people. You get good experience, you get bad experience, complicated experience, but it's part of life, so it's okay. And from there you start to moving to meet new people, and then you make connections and friends. And I have really lucky that so far, I mean, 1 year and a half, I have 2 amazing friends that they have been really supported with me. And yeah, I also have a relationship that it didn't work, but I met a lot of people too, a different experience, and you start to know a lot of people here in New York, and that's a great thing. And then you have to select what is best for you or what you feel better, you know. And one of my best friend one day said and recommended one day, why you don't go to the gay center? And I was like, what is a gay center? And I was like really like shocking, because it was, what do you mean by that, or what's the idea of that? And I think it was my ex that we were working and said, no, the gay center is there and it's a building, and yeah, but why? And I was like shocking, why you need a gay center? And then one day I went and I saw all the help that the gay center provides, or all the efforts to help people that they do, and all the meetings and all the supporting and all the help that they provide again. And so it was really like shocking to see that building there, and people coming in to the meetings, that everyone knows it, and you feel welcome in a place for the first time. Not that in New York you are discriminated for being gay or something, because here the city is really open with that, but it's another step, you know, that you have a center or a community that really support you and help you in case you need it, you know. And there is a lot of people that I have met in the center. I wish I have more time, but it's really amazing when you feel welcome in a place, and that you can talk about everything, and you will get the help that you need in order to move forward in your life. So it was like, that part was really like shocking, and I think we will be like super thankful if one day we can have one of those in Latin America. I mean, I will say from Mexico to Chile.
In the center in Manhattan, right?
Yeah, in Manhattan. Yeah.
And so, what was it like your first visit there? Like, talk a little bit more about like that first encounter with that kind of space.
Well, I have to be honest. Maybe when I went there, it was like maybe I don't know the exact word. Maybe I was too prejudgment to see what I was going to see or what my experience was going to be, and I was really like trying to be more figure out what this center was about finally. And then I was talking with another friend, and he told me, no, there is supporting groups and there is therapy in case you need it, and then you start to sign up and they will help you with a lot of things, and then you start to discover all these activities and all the help that they have, and you feel really welcome. When I get in, I was saying judgment all this center because from my lack of knowledge, maybe. I mean, I'm gay, but anyway, you always get new things in life, so it was like this first reaction to know what is going on. And then you see like there is lesbian or transgender, and they open and they don't care, they keep, and that's the main thing, and that's the most important thing. They care about you as a person. Doesn't matter if you're whatever if you're Latino, if you are from another country, if you're gay, if you're tall, if you're small, if you're young, if you're old, they provide help and they support you, and that's one of the things that I was most appreciate.
So since that that first moment, so that was something new, a new experience for you in New York.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that life in New York has surprised you? Any other aspects of culture or life in New York?
You know what? People here, I don't know if, happy. They're really happy, I will say. But people here enjoy their life, and they don't concern about things that maybe Latin America we think it's really important. So people here live their life. If you're dating this guy, if you're dating this woman, it's your problem. I don't mind. I don't care. I will, maybe as a friend, I will say something, but I will not judge you because of what you are, or with who are you dating, or what are you doing, So that was one of the biggest shock that I get when I get into New York, like how open the society here is, and how they celebrate that you are here in New York and you can enjoy the city. It doesn't maybe happen in all the states or in all United States. I haven't visited all the state as a resident, but here in New York you feel welcome and you feel protected in a way as an immigrant I'm talking now. So, and last year I participated also about the parade, and you start to know all this world that is here in New York with the parade, and then you can go out to clubs and pubs, and they are meeting groups, and they are more apps than the one that everyone knows, and that you can connect with gay or lesbian people for networking. So there is a lot of opportunities and chances to enjoy the city, to make connections, to meet new people, and show your experience, show your life, with your backgrounds, and how you participate in this total society here in New York.
So a year or so later, what's your life like now? Do you feel settled in?
I will not say that I'm totally settled in. I think first it was, I have been here 1 year and a half, and for me I just arrived yesterday because it was like a roller coaster from the beginning. You learn a lot of things, and it was a roller coaster with emotions, and you have a boyfriend, you break up, it's Christmas and New Year's, and so it's more a learning process still. But again, as you make this connection and you make your support group, it was a really different and really exciting experience. I was trying to go for New Year's to Times Square, but it was super cold, so I didn't do it. But also it's fun how you can get connections and friends that they are for you, and they are willing to be with you and go with you with all the activities. So it's like you start to get into society and participate and organize your weekends, and we are going to do this summer, and then winter you have different activities, and so it's fun, and you start to get into this society with your own agenda and try to make it work and celebrate all the things,
So, you talk about enjoying life here and
Yeah.
everything the city has to offer.
And when you start to know people, and my best friend, and he told me, oh no, I have to take you to Fire Island, for example. Okay, let's go to Fire Island. What is Fire Island? I know it's a beach. Oh, let's go. Perfect. And it's really difficult for a New Yorker or an American try to express the difference from Latin America, because you here in America, you have it all. For us, no, we don't have it all, So when he brought me to Fire Island and I get the ferry and I see all these guys going to the same part of with the little community, and then you can be and it's not like too much different in New York, but you can be totally free, and people, and you see just men, and there is another one part that is for women, and every single thing, it's you're making part of that community that celebrates because what you are, and they respect you. It's really like not fun, but I would say like freedom, that you can be you with no problems. You will judge. You are going to be judged because it happened. It's part of the human being. But I wish sometimes that in my country or in Sao Paulo, people can enjoy that in the same way, And that's really like super fun seeing what happened. And I told my friends in Chile, no, you have to come to New York, and I have to take you to Fire Island because it's really different and it's really funny and you will love it. And people, it's just you, and that's something that we don't know, for example, about Fire Island in Chile. Not many people has visiting New York unless they are going to visit Fire Island. So it was like really a good opportunity.
Can you talk a little bit about maybe some of the parts of your culture, your home, that you miss?
What I miss? Well, I miss my friends, and it's weird because I miss talking in my language, in my mother language, and have I still don't get all the jokes here and all the expressions that you have. So, but I miss that a lot from my culture, of my friends. So when they are visiting and I have the opportunity to speak in Spanish, I have my jokes in Spanish that I grew up. So I'm trying to make it work here with my friends in English, but it's not happening so far. But yeah, I miss that, the connection with my friends. I have to recognize that I miss the food too. You have great food here, but sorry, in South America is really different and better. But the pizza or the burgers are always great here. But yeah, I miss that. I miss my family, and speaking in Spanish as your mother language is something that I really miss. But I mean, it's part of the adventure when you decided to come to a different country. So you deal with that, and you have pros and cons, and that was one of the things that you have to accept when you decided to move. It's part of the game. So no problem with that. And you have friends around the world finally, so it's better. And I can go to Chile and see my friends, and it's really like great to see your friends, but also it makes you see a society that it's still in time, that doesn't move faster as in New York. And finally you decided, you know what, I'm at home, and it's weird. I'm home in Chile, in Santiago, with my friends and my custom, my language, but finally it's not my home. And I want to go back to my home here in New York and live my life here in New York, definitely. I miss avocado a lot, but
What was that?
The avocado, or the palta as we call it, a lot, but yeah.
So and so do you connect to your culture here through food at all, or
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah, that's funny. I'm trying to. I have friends. One is from Czech Republic. The other one is totally. The other two are totally Americans. So I'm trying to get part of my culture into here, and sometimes we make a lot of fun because I don't understand the peanut butter in a sandwich or something like that, and I will say how you can eat that, and I say, okay. But when I make some toast with avocado, they ask me how you can eat that. I mean, so it's better than your peanut butter. So no, peanut butter with jelly, and dude, how you eat that? I mean, but it's fun. So we try to connect food, and sometimes we cook and we prepare a nice dinner, and finally, and that's the other part of New York, that you accept the other one with all the flawless and all the good things. If you want to eat peanut butter, eat it, and I will eat my avocado and be fun and enjoy. Perfect. So that's a really good part, and you know that your friends will be doing the best to make you feel comfortable, and you do that for your friends too, you know. And I have learned a lot because one is my ex was a really good cooker, chef. So I met also kale. So
Kale.
and now I'm a fan of it. And so yeah, you discover every day new things. And another point, it's really fun of New York that I was visiting always, and you make the tourist way. But now I feel more a New Yorker, and I know, and when my friends are coming, I don't take it to the tourist places like everyone does. No, let's go to this specific restaurant of good hamburgers, and I will not say the name, but it's in the West Village, and it's really cool. And then you take it to the best pizza place, and so that's a different part. And I feel really good when my friends coming and I show that part of the city, and they enjoy it, and they have freedom to do whatever they want. So it's really comfortable, that situation, you know.
So you've gotten to know the city. What part of the city do you live in?
I'm living in Hell's Kitchen, so I'm mostly familiar with Manhattan. I love Brooklyn too. I have been a lot of times in Brooklyn, and but I need to discover more of Brooklyn. So that's a part of the checklist I have to do. I have been in Dumbo, Williamsburg, and Brooklyn Heights, and it's really nice to walk through the bridge and discover the other part of the city that is not always running, that it's a more normal life maybe. But
and you're in Bed-Stuy today, Bedford-Stuyvesant today. That's
Yeah.
the area we're in.
Yeah. So, and it's another world, and it's really cool how all the immigrants live, and you see different things and different dresses or cultures that are living in a city, and everyone is accepting the other one with no problems, you know. So that's really amazing. I have to go to New Jersey. I haven't been there. That's something that I have to do.
And what are some of your favorite spots around the city to visit? So
I would love to go more often to Central Park. And the other day I was talking with my friend that we were having lunch there at Central Park, and we said, dude, we have it here, but we doesn't came like every 2 minutes, and it was like, yeah, we have to be more often here. But I also enjoyed the Hudson River sidewalk, and when you can run, and so yeah, and those are my great places to relax and enjoy more of the nature, if we can call it that way, you know. But again, there is so many places, and my friends are showing me part of the city. So you go upstate in New York, I went to Albany last year for Oktoberfest, and you start to discover new things, and so it's really, really, really amazing. Start from the fact that, for example, many people in Latin America will not know that Manhattan is an island, everyone sees it like a complete city, and nobody realized that finally it's just an island. So that's a really cool fact that not many people know. How many people live in an island, and with the subway, with all the tunnels and the Long Island Railroad, and so it's really funny that part of the city, Okay, you have to run to grab the train and go to Fire Island, and everything works with clock, Okay, you will arrive, take the bus and grab the ferry that is at 11:30, and everything is synchronized and everything is working perfectly. So it's funny.
Yeah, New York is a big place.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you do for fun? Hobbies, passions?
Hobbies and passions. My hobbies and passion are the aviation industry and aircraft, so I always enjoy that. But even in Fire Island, it's really cool because you see when they are getting into JFK, so they are flying really low, and I can be super excited looking at the skies all the time. And my friends are, okay, can we move forward because you have... But yeah, I think one of the things is being with my friends, go to the movies, go to this Union Square during the weekends and buy some food there, or go to a gallery, a new exposition, and then you're coming and you have a birthday party, or you're going to the Hamptons, or another one is inviting you upstate, or a friend from Latin America is coming. So you have like a lot of activities, and you start to plan your year according to that. And so it's really like you always have an activity here in New York. You don't sleep or if you want, you can stay in your home, and especially I think during winter. That was really hard this year and really long, but it's also cool because with all the snow and winter storm that are coming, you go to your friend's house and you watch the whole season of something, and you eat a lot, and then okay, the storm's done, okay, go to work now. The day is off. So yeah, that makes you feel more New Yorker or part of New York, so it's always really a good experience. I can't complain.
So what does it mean ultimately? What does it mean to you to be able to live here in the US?
I think it's a big opportunity, that I get more, the experience is so much better for me, and you have a lot of, and I saw it from the country that I come and the one that I live, so many rights that you have, and that's something that it's really part of. It is shocking because if you need help, you will get it for free or something. If you need some prescription medication, you will get it some way. And you will always have a support group if you need it, or something is willing to help you. I wish in my country or in Brazil have that kind of things too. And that's something that we really have to work a lot to. I don't know the mid-United States. I am totally ignorant what happened or what's going on there, but I saw it from New York, that if you are really lonely or you really need something, you can get it. Everyone is going to help you, the state of the government, okay. But in Chile, you don't have those kind of opportunities all the time. And that's something that I will in the future would like to work and help the people in Chile to have like even access for Truva, something that here is super common, like taking I don't want to be rude with that, but it's taking like an Advil or Tylenol. It's amazing how expensive it is in Latin America, and not everyone has access for that. And it's something that is for preventing a disease. It's not something that is for preventing something that is really like not important, you know. So how we can help, or how I can help to make that effort there, it's something that I really want to start to work on and make it happen in Latin America, definitely.
So what would you like people to know ultimately from this interview or from this project? What would you like people to know about LGBTQ immigrants?
I'm talking about what I know about New York. It's not an easy city. It's really hard, especially in winter. Don't get used to it. It's really cold. But you are going to be respect as a person here. You will have your rights. You will have your support, and you will have help in any way you can find it, or you're looking for that. The most important thing is the fact that you will be respected for who you are, and nobody is going to judge you according to that, as doesn't happen in my country or in Brazil. So that's what I will say to the immigrants and for the community, you know.
What would you like people to know about you personally?
Well, I'm new here in New York. Open to have friends, and if I can help someone, I will do it. I think as you get some help sometimes, you can help others, and always it's good to help others. I have the opportunity or the lucky that I speak 4 languages, and I can help people from Latin America. That's why I'm making soup kitchens some days, in order to, because it's weird that here, anyway, we are here in New York and not everyone is speaking English. So if I can help the community in Spanish or Portuguese, I'm going to be always able to help them if in case you need it. And so I let them know, people at the Kane Center too, if they need someone for translation or something, I'm going to be here. I think it's the least that you can do. Try to help in some way, and especially the people that are coming from Latin America. I don't want to call them like the immigrants, because it's weird. For I totally understand from the American point, but you like here in America to put people in a box, you know. So, or you're Latino or Hispanic, or you're Asian, or you're from Europe, or white, tall, and we don't use that a lot in Latin America. But I will say that, yeah, I will help the people from Latin America all that I can. They have a lot of opportunities here, so it's afraid for us, maybe, come to this city in the first time. Make it your life here, because also it's expensive, but totally recommended, because finally you get a lot of benefits and a lot of opportunities, and you feel like safe here. You feel like protected. You feel like supported, that you can be you. Nobody, again, is judging you. In Sao Paulo, I have a great life too, but people is being discriminated anyway. And in Chile, you still, the fact that you can get married there, it's like, what's going on, you know? Or you can be able to get like adoption. You don't have access to adoption if you're gay. And why is that? So how we move forward as a society and around the world in this, it's something that we need to fight for.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to this interview?
What I would like to add? I will recommend it that if you're deciding to come to New York, you have to be really strong. Again, it's not easy living in New York. You are going to meet different kind of people. Someone are really good, someone it's up to you, but it's an amazing city, and I totally recommended that, or from my point of view, the help that I get from the gay center or from my friends is something that I would like in the future take it to Latin America and start it there, because it will be really helpful. It's totally necessary, and I think we have to together, and all the Latins that are here, maybe get together and start to work for our countries and have all this, and maybe in the future have a gay center in our countries too. So probably that's our message, and that is our task pending as Latins here in New York.
Sebastian, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story.
No, thank you for having me and have this opportunity. Thank you.
Thanks.